series of Warzone. It's kind of now or never. 2 maps left to go here, Tiff, and I'm excited for it.
That is true. Map 1 went to Soka from NA, Sage, Biffle, NA in map 2, Team Braxton map number 3, and DBZ with map number 4. As we check out that zone, our teams making their way in. It's relatively central, but this could pull towards maybe Al Shireen Pass, so I'll look to the teams over there to maybe solidify that high ground, but we're not going to check in with DBZ just yet because no real massive there, but Wars & Co. Intex getting into early action. They're able to grab a knock onto 1, but looting through the tents, looking for that, but it's TDE who are able to grab an early game helicopter, one of the rarest vehicles on Al Mazrah, and just peppering down from above.
Peppering down from above with the starter pistol. I love it. TBE just letting people know they're coming through. Maybe grab a couple pieces of damage just to pad the stat sheet. We'll see. FIFA Kill, though, already in an early encounter. They know they got to get a move on. They got to play aggressive and quickly taking down one of our Brazil teams.
Yeah, going for the stronghold here is an easy way to maybe get a load of cash or maybe an early loadout, and FIFA looks to be doing that, but has that in hand. And the Vel, not a bad SMG, and here you go, getting that loadout early and with at least 2 minutes into the 5th map. That's going to give them that advantage to any team that they run up against that wasn't able to get it. So you can see that team that was challenging the stronghold is forced to resend.
This is the best part of the tournament because this is where most of the teams down near the bottom of the leaderboard have to make some major adjustment and go for broke. They're going to be playing highly aggressive. You're not going to see as many teams in the in circle. Teams are going to be flying at people. So a team like FIFA Kill that can get a loadout that quickly are going to push the fight. Like I said, quickly finding Reaper to find the full team wipe on the team from Brazil.
Bro, Reaper hypes in the vehicle. He's like, I'm trying to get out of here, but Ab was able to cut them down. But it's Shifty, Biffle, and Sage that are taking on Louis CM, and you heard it from our Royal Air Force. They were talking earlier on the stage with Frankie. Stop landing near Biffle, and what are they doing? Map number 5, they are sharing a corridor with them, and Sage is just looking for an opening.
Yeah, the saying is if it's not broke, don't fix it, but if it's broke, do something about it. Let's make a change. This time, though, Sage is going to try to grab a different angle as Shifty is still in the building nearby. Maybe there was some secret strategy that our Royal Air Force wasn't sharing. Louis CM gonna push the fight. Smixy now pushing the fight as well, finding an elimination on King Maddie. Rodrigo, Zungod down below. Now with the player disadvantage, they're gonna try to grab some inside cover and reassess. Zungod in trouble. Attract pushing the fight. Attract, no! Doesn't get the better of it. Zungod goes huge. A nice answer back, of course, from flanked. Rodrigo grabs another angle, grabs a sniper, breaks plates. No, can't grab the knock.
Just a sniper from the ground, but Sage able to not capitalize on that because Louis CM's teammate Vapular was able to take him down, send him to that gulag early on, as well as Jay from Team Huskers will meet him there. But here's Louis CM able to reunite alongside his squad, operate this building, but that's exactly what you need to do. So they have forced the issue, they are winning engagements, and hey, that's enough for me, it's enough for the Royal Air Force.
Hey, look, Tiff, Vap said, I asked him a couple questions before the broadcast. Vap said he's not here to make any friends. He's here for business and business only. So time to take care of business, my friend. Let's see what Biffle can do and see if he can take care of business here in the gulag. Biffle, 1v1s is where he thrives. Attract on the other side has a ton of experience and a ton of prowess. Doesn't have a sniper though, so I think I'm leaning Biffle, but anything can happen in the gulag.
Well, you remember what Smixy said, you gotta win the initial gunfights, and her teammate Attract is gonna need to win a 1 here. Burning the thermite early, Biffle now doesn't have any more lethals or utility, does spot Attract, puts out some initial bullets, and is forced to do a dance. You don't want to repeat, but he is going to pick up the gas grenade. It's going out, the snapshot connects, and Attract pushes. Will it be enough? Will Biffle wins that 1?
Gosh. Look, Biffle doesn't lose 1v1s often. He's not going to lose it on main stage when they're up by 50. If there's anything I know about Sage, Biffle, and Shifty, they're going to be pushing the equation. They're going to stay aggressive regardless of what the score line is. Another team that's going to do a lot of the same, well, it's the team on the screen. Hisoka, Skullface, Mayapo, still in second place, but the team from Mexico is hot on their heels, less than 4 points behind them. Deus Amir, Castillo, Z Dark, constantly finding themselves in the final circles and constantly finding themselves with a couple of eliminations early. And here's a couple more to boot. Colors no idea where Castillo is, and Dark from down below. A huge pinch. Super Evan has cut it off short though. What can Castillo do last alive for his team?
Hey, need to stand up. Zdark and Deuce already in that gulag. You can hear them calling in the missiles and trying to disengage, but not quick enough. Goes down to maybe about 15 HP, able to start the process of plating back up. But sometimes when you get onto the balconies, they're really tough to get out of. You can find yourself stuck, but he's looking for a jump to the roof, going to miss it as Super Evan and Swag are closing the distance, outnumbering Castillo, just looking to put some initial damage, but they are in full run. Castillo through the, utilizing the Semtex to try and block off the staircase, maybe re-finesse them, but he only has one way to go here. He's gonna wait and try to go for the knocks. Put some initial damage out, but it's not going to be enough. There's just too many. Super Evan and Swag outnumbering Castillo. To the gulag you go.
I'm not going to lie. If he would have won that with the no-scope signal, I would have lost my mind.
That would have been crazy.
Done. Should head to the gulag, should come back. We'll see. Braxton, Finessen inside the top 5, looking to continue to better their performance. A lot of money on the line, and every single time you move up this leaderboard, every single dollar you start counting into your bank account. But the question is, can you count it early? Maybe for Biffle you can, but for Team Braxton, still a long way to go. 5th place is gonna net them $36,000. 4th place, Tiff, would be $50K.
That's worth it here at Marshlands. You're surrounded by Team Zeppa, as well as a few others. So taking to the high ground will be very important. They do have a flare alongside them to boot. You can see Teeny just kind of laying low, knows there are players nearby, and that's really kind of what you need to do is make sure you're not overextending, not peeking, because of Signal 50 on a roof, you're 2 bullets away from finding yourself towards endgame. So Teeny likely is gonna rotate out, try to join up with Levy. Let's check in. Biffle and Shifty, your current leaders by north of 50 points. Just a staggering pace that our squads are having trouble matching.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the leaderboard, and the only EU teams inside the top 10, 10th place would be Stuo. You've got Boogs and Stukex in 4th. And you've got Team Wars in 8th. So 3 teams from EU trying to better their performances here. Several outside of the top 10. 1 Mexico team, the rest are in a quiet team inside the top 10, by the way. Team Jowo, after a fairly strong start at the beginning, still finding themselves in 9th place. We'll see what these teams are able to do in the final 2 maps. We've got Freed. You got 8th. Clown is down. Should be a 2v2 on the other side. Maybe a 2v1. Yeah, see you later. 8th gets the better.
26, fully wiped. May still have a gulag available. We are 2 squads out of our initial 50 here in map number 4. 8 minutes into the game, and the rotations are few and plenty here. But you can see Panda on the distance. Go Clamp and Extra J. Trying to find some initial engagements here, but a relatively slower start for them. About 150 damage and no eliminations. Well, 1 for Clamp.
And I gotta say, a team that there was a lot of expectations on. Anytime I ask players about teams they were threatened by, especially from other regions, anytime we were talking about Mexico, they were actually talking about the 2nd place team from Mexico, which would be the team on your screen. You've got Panda, Extra J, and Clamp. They have a large, history of experience in not only the World Series of Warzone, but also in tournaments in the past. Go Clamp even playing with one of the teams at the top, right? Before changing out teammates. So an interesting team to watch out for. I don't think they're having the best shake of it thus far, but they might be getting the better of their opponents here. Clamp now on 2, looking to find Smixy. Little to no help though. Smixy finds another Panda, last alive for his team. Is able to knock 1, find a moment of reprieve, but all of a sudden, he's gonna try to clean it up, self-revive. Yes, spots him through the smoke.
Smixy even used to compete alongside Goat Clamp throughout her competitive history here in Warzone, and it's just like they're losing that initial gunfight and can't keep that momentum moving forward. Smixy jumps straight towards Panda, and unfortunately that squad will be wiped. We saw Attract early on lose that gulag, but was able to get back in, but unfortunately running into Goat Clamp and Co, just not able to stay the distance. But Sage, Biffle bringing back Shifty in, and they're over here once again against Louis CM.
They've been fighting since the very beginning of this map, and so far it's been fairly even trades across the board. They're going to continue to fight. Now, one thing that Louis CM's team has done is really stifled the aggressive early start that Sage, Biffle, and Shifty have been able to do the last 4 maps even, finding their way into the final 5 and a ton of eliminations. Right now, they're struggling to find even 1. Now, if they can wipe Louis here, they pretty much have the entirety of this POI by themselves, at least this side of the river. So a huge moment and a huge fight, and I think they know that, which is why they're sticking here. But it's really weird to see Shifty on 0 kills and Biffle only on 1. but they're playing smart. They don't necessarily need all of the points, and they'll pick up the pace should they be able to wipe Jama here.
Well, I mean, if you're going to stay in Hydroelectric and fight for the dawn of time and completely sandwich the captain, Team Jama, so unfortunate for them, but I do see Louis CM out in the distance, but Sage parachuting in directly behind him, looking to capitalize on it, but he does get knocked and eliminated. Was the last team ever able to get out?
It's the definition of gross. Great elimination there from Sage. They've grabbed Hydro. They've got an entirety of about half of an entire POI to their name. They can hang out for a little bit waiting on this next zone. Now we got a couple swimmers here. We got a Wiz in the water with 4. We said FIFA Kills teams got to go fast and they got to go crazy at the beginning of this map to have a chance. Hopefully they can set up for in-game. Just 9 kills between 2 is a fantastic start. So we'll see what they can do at the end. Of course, multiplier, again, doesn't start till top 35. We still have 46 teams left in the lobby. TBE trying to get the better of their opponents here with methods.
We saw them early on with the helicopter, now have made their way down south towards airport. And with that circle starting to close, they will likely have to rotate out. And we know a lot of heavy-hitting teams typically rotate through this out. But it's going to be Jukeyz and co that are going to be leaving that H5 area on the map and pushing towards the double gas station POI ahead of them. But Soka, they know the pace that they need to get to, and they're looking to hit triple digits, but they're not there yet.
Not there yet. Mayapo still looking for his first, but the team playing well. Inside the next zone, just barely. A couple teams trying to rotate in. That's E-Bates with Z-Smith on the outside, having to cross over these train tracks. But Ahsoka remains on the hunt, seeking Gromalok and seeking more eliminations, while Mayapo is looking for Picnic. Easily finds Team Ultra out of here. I've really had a tough shake of it this game, and in this series haven't really had anything going, likely because of some of these early fights. Ahsoka continues to push the equation and continues to win. That's Ahsoka's 6th tip.
That they knew what they needed to do if they wanted to track down Team Biffle, and they're looking to capitalize on it. But we've seen just how well Shifty, Sage, and Biffle were performing, and they're on the move again, just on the outskirts, coming out of Hydroelectric. So they'll be pushing towards the marshlands, which, if we checked in earlier, there were the plethora of teams over there, but just needing to find that pace, because if Soka is able to rack in kill after kill after kill, that is going to really allow them to close the distance. But I think it's going to take a 2x multiplier for Team Soka to really do some damage.
TBE still looking to creep up this leaderboard and quickly eliminates Method's team. Cam's out as well. Looks like their third flying back in is going to say, yeah, I think I'm going to stay away from this one. Nice win here from TBE. They continue to move up this leaderboard. They were in 5th going into the last map. They're now in 6th, but kind of maintaining their position into the top 10. An impressive feat considering their first map, but they've got the gun skill and they've got the aggressive game style and gameplay to win this thing still, but they need to get a move on. Let's take a look at that map, Tiff, and see where some of these teams are at.
Yeah, this is what's really interesting, right? You've got TBE. They were able to clear out airport on that southernmost side, but what's to note is Team Smixy has made a full regain. All 3 members of Team Smixy are up and rotating straight into the TBE, so that's going to be really challenging for them. But what's going to be even more tough is that zone is likely to pull furthermore north towards Village, towards Double Gas, and that road that separates airport and Double Gas is atrocious to cross, especially late game, because there's so many high buildings. We know it's the Signal 50 meta, and that's where things will get tough. Mayapo showing us just how it's done.
Yeah, great hold here from the top. Gotta have that high ground. Okay, if you're taking a look at that Call of Duty Echo Twitch channel, you just saw the new zone, and well, it went to pass in Village. You're going to be creeping up on kind of the north side of Village and just kind of encompassing all of Pass. It means everybody coming out of Marshlands has a long way to go, and there's going to be a ton of teams holding it as well. Huge shout to the production team to have that going. Go check that out on Call of Duty Echo on Twitch. Mayapo looking to follow up. Hits one, but not the second, allowing Hees to get out.
Rapid succession there, and as you made the shout to go to Pass, there were some teams that had already rotated in early. That was going to be Jowo, Limax, and Bredman taking Pass early, and Sage and co trying to get there. We know just the verticality that is over at Pass. It's entirely difficult to rotate in. Shifty electing to go up by foot because the zip lines at this point in time are likely not going to be safe. Running into some resistance, forced to reassess the situation. You can see Bredman with ultimate high ground. You know the Signal 50s in hand, and you know, I hate to say it, when I saw the initial circle zone, I did say pass, did I not?
You did. You definitely
It's almost
called
like I
it.
play this game or something. It's almost like I do.
Oh, look, Hisoka plays this game often. He's fighting against Finessin here. Finessin has a ton of prowess. These are 2 teams inside the top 5. Who do you got? Finessin really thought he was going to come down lane. Hisoka not only cracks plates, but gets quite a bit of health off Finessin. This should be a free and clear victory. No! Somehow gives up position. Hisoka thought he was so free that Finessin wouldn't chow that quickly. Finessin peekaboo takes down Hisoka. Now, it's not all she wrote for that team, but still, I mean, I was walking away from the screen.
Well, you
looking down at notes. I didn't think that was going to happen.
You think back to when Mayapo was on stage after their first initial victory and how many times he faces Soka in the 1v1s and says Soka wins them. Well, Finessin does on land. Finessin wins those ones, and Village is chaos. DJ Moss from Team eBay still alive. Skullface just a little bit south of them, but it's Biffle who was utilizing the flares earlier, hitting the smoke and rotate.
Jukeyz, this is a big one. Mayapo versus Jukeyz. Jukeyz, some of the lone soldiers for the EU go down. Mayapo wins his ones. Called it out on main stage. Executes it this time.
Hisoka's back already as well. Shifty, Biffle, Sage just in the opening of the road, trying to think about where they want to pull straight to. As you can see, the circle is pulling further and further into Al Shireen Pass. Last time we checked in, it was Breadman with the ultimate high ground that is going to make it so incredibly challenging to get anywhere close to them. Jowo grabs another, Breadman grabs another. They're likely running 2 Signal 50s on that roster.
Yeah, we've seen Jowo play this style before where he kind of plays anchor, and when you give Breadman an ultimate high as well, they should be getting free picks all day today, especially in Al Shireen Pass. They've crept inside the top 10, they've maintained their position in the top 10, now they've got a chance to further their position up into the top 5. Biffle turns on the team from Australia and makes it look easy. High ground eliminations in tow, and a great position here as Gromalok goes big in the kill feed. I'm hearing the crowd go wild.
Levi was able to get a flare off, so one member of Team Zeppa will come back at random, but Sage and Biffle, they're not going to let them get in that easy. Levi does fall, and they've set their sights onto more gatekeeping of this, as Nico Infinite is going to be that next squad with Crowder and Desmond. It looks like Nico might be the last alive, but Mayapo, they've set their eyes on a TBE. Noobs drops Mayapo. Soka, the biggest resistance they've faced in this map, looking for double digits, finally hitting triple for the total scoring, but Tommy plating up, and Noobs able to get back on his feet. Can he finish that self-res?
Could be a potential third party from distance too by Limax, throwing down covering fire. The old guard versus the new guard. Hisoka in trouble. Skullface on 1 HP in a dream. Goes down. Mayapo last alive for his team. Can he get the revive? If I'm TBE, I'd be pushing. The problem is you got 2-3 teams staring down your back, and Ullman getting shots down from Rocket, it looks like, on the other side.
They cannot afford to push Soka and Mayapo, and Team Aizen coming in from rotation. Mayapo with the flare. Meanwhile, Joe, Breadman, and Limax take out Team E-Bates from high ground. Playing that position early is what they needed, and Heeds tries to flank onto Mayapo. Initial shots go out. He's able to grab the knock, but Hisoka has to play from inside the building. Now all 3 back into the game, but they cannot take out this squad just yet, but Soka does! Soka is able to grab it, but not before Gromalok able to take down 2 members of Team Soka.
Grom did everything in his power to win that, but Gromalok's squad has been wiped. No gulag for you, and just a little bit of the multiplier. Somehow Team Hisoka is still alive, and look who also is still alive in several eliminations now. They picked up the pace, Tiff, and they're not letting any team close the gap on them. Sage on 5, trying to take down Rodrigo.
He's like, knock, knock, here's a Semtex, I've got a flare. Able to find even more eliminations. We were worried about the pace that they were maintaining here in map number 5, but sitting on 5 eliminations thus far will keep that momentum moving forward. But as we get a beautiful free cam shot, I did see a Jukeyz in the distance. He said he wanted to step up on this back half of the series, and so far is doing so.
Still alive. The question is, how many are alive on the team? Lenun went down in the kill feed. They might have flared him back. Mayapo's gonna creep up. Now, Breadman, Joe, and Limax are having a game. They've been inside a zone for a while. You heard it from DBZ, who got the black site, potentially something that Joe's team did to maintain this position in the zone. They've covered it correctly. They have exactly all the information they need and the high ground position to do wonders from distance. As long as there's no PA that drops Breadman off of that high ground, should be able to pick up a couple free kills, especially as we get into the final couple circles here. Mayapo still up, last alive for his team. And look who's also still alive. Z-Dark and Castillo continue to find themselves in the final circle, and there is Jukeyz finally.
Well, here's the issue. It's Mayapo last alive for their squad in second place, and yes, he's trying to rack up eliminations, but when you have Sage and Shifty clearing out the northern side of Pass, rotating in, they're able to maintain a pace that Mayapo's not going to be able to get. He needs some rogue flares to be able to get that teammate back, but prioritizing your life, your safety, the multiplier that is at hand is what you need to do. And Biffle, well, he's just taken down another one.
Somehow all three alive still. Jobo has fallen off on the other side. I know Bread was in a bit of trouble as well, but the team at the top continues to reign supreme. We've lost Shifty, Sage, Biffle, last alive, as Vapular on the other side is finding one. Can we answer back?
That is the question. Can we answer back? They were able to get all three of them back alive, down to the 11 squads, about to be in a 1.6x multiplier, but it's Jukeyz. Jukeyz taking out Jowo. Jukeyz taking out Almond from TBE, finding a lot of success here, prioritizing that positioning, and they will have an advantage on that zone pull, but not before squad number 12, Team Iceland, is going to prioritize.
Jowo gone. Mexico gone. Raul gone. Mayapo finds another, somehow slipping away into sixth place, just barely missing out on the 1.8 times multiplier. Sage last up for his team, but Shifty bleeding out. Sage goes down, Shifty's out of here. Team Biffle makes it to top 5 again, but is down and out. Look who's left alive. Jukeyz and Vision, they needed it. They called it out, and they're executing it. The question is, can they win it? High ground to King Maddie. Finds a couple plates, but not a knock, and it's go ahead and burn the flare. Here's the footsteps of Jukeyz and Vision, but where are they gonna pop up from? Finds one, Vision now in trouble. King Maddie goes big, wins the one. Where's the second?
Teammate was flared in, likely gonna join them soon, gets eyes on Jukeyz, but not able to grab that knock. And with 4 squads remaining, Jukeyz is able to get the res onto Visions, who duck into cover, but Team Rocket has the advantage with 3 players still up.
Nice flank from Jukeyz, the crowd goes wild. Vision is on 11 TIF, going absolutely massive. This could not only get them into the money, potentially top 15, but they need to win it. They need to capitalize on these eliminations with a 2 times multiplier. Zungod last alive, no. Rocket last alive with Zakar. It's a 2v2 TIF.
Here comes Jukeyz. Here comes Jukeyz. He does get cracked, and Rocket not able to land a side on him, but it's the flare with Zakar down. He grabs back Morpheus, but Jukeyz back again with another elimination. If they play this right, they should be the winners of map number 5, and they are. EU stand up, Copper Box Arena. Jukeyz on top.
They needed it. They manifested it, and they won it. Map 5 goes to the team only a couple hours away. Jukeyz, a massive victory. 2 times multiplier for what likely will be well into the 30s, if not a 40-point game. You can see the excitement on their face and the excitement from the crowd.
Peep him there, Lenun right there. Every time they celebrate, Lenun is shouting out his family, and Jukeyz was like, hey, you know, he's got that dad buff, but let's take a look at that HyperX victory.